Hey everyone, it is Luke Fry, Washington CPA and co-founder of Timber Tax. I know I've had a little bit of trouble with lives in the past. This new presentation has got me thrown for a loop a little bit, so hopefully you have been catching. But I'm just trying to provide as much info and background to people on the SBA protection program, payroll protection program as possible. So there has been a fair amount of stuff going on with the SBA, and in the last couple of weeks, I have helped many of our clients apply for almost $500,000, maybe more actually, of funding from the SBA. Most of it, which will be forgivable. Okay, so one major distinction is there are two loans that are out right now, and I'm talking specifically just about the SBA. If you live in New York or Washington, whatever state you're in, there's additional help, and there's also additional unemployment help as well. But today, what I'm talking about very specifically are the two loans, and they have to do with from the SBA. One is the Economic Disaster Relief Loan. So if you just Google Economic Disaster SBA, it's the disaster assistance loan, and it takes maybe 10 minutes to apply for. And I would say that the disaster loan is a wonderful option for a couple of people. I'll compare that later. But what I really want to highlight is for anyone who's a sole proprietor, qualified joint venture, single member LLC, basically most of our clients, okay? Tomorrow is the deadline for, or sorry, not the deadline, rather the applications open for the payroll protection program for sole proprietors. Now, this payroll protection program is another SBA loan that is given to you to help keep people employed. Okay, so essentially what's happened is this pandemic has caused the economy to come to a bit of a halt in a lot of places. Many of you who may work in in-person revenue generating activities have felt that very severely firsthand. So what that means is the government has contributed a ton of cash, trillions of dollars, tons of money, to helping keep the economy going for the next few months, basically. And what they're saying is, if you have employees, let's figure out how to get business owners money to pay their payroll for 2.5 months. Now, what does that mean if you're self-employed? That means the deadline tomorrow, I keep saying deadline when I really mean when the application opens tomorrow for sole proprietors with your bank, you should be applying for the payroll protection program. So the payroll protection program is 2.5 times your monthly salary. And I'll talk specifically about self-employed people. So if your 2019 tax return is finished, you can use your income from self-employment as your salary. So the maximum you can get is $100,000 on a $100,000 salary. So if you made $150,000, $200,000, then the max amount you can get is still $100,000. And I'm dividing that by 12, so that salary would be $8,300 per month times 2.5. That's almost $21,000 of the loan. Now that loan is completely forgivable, meaning if you apply to it, get it, and then use it for valid purposes according to the loan, payroll is one of them. And especially if you're self-employed, that's pretty easy because payroll is money to you, okay? If you use it for that purpose, it's totally forgivable. You're still going to have to apply for it to be forgiven, but it's something that is free money right now. And I think that everybody who's an independent contractor, if you have a 1099 that's went your way for 2019, if your 2019 tax return is done, you should apply for this loan. So essentially, there are some really wonderful articles I'll also post, but the bench.co blog on the payroll protection for sole proprietors is also a really good resource. I'll post the SBA link as well. But essentially, if you're a sole proprietor, if there's been an effect on your business, I very strongly recommend that everybody apply tomorrow. You're right, it's not free money. It does come from somewhere. The point is that as long as you use it for qualified purposes, you don't have to repay it. So this loan opened up mostly to businesses last week, and I know that banks like Wells Fargo have already used up all their money, which was like in the billions of dollars. So it's not really clear. I've helped people apply for lots of different loans, and we haven't seen anybody actually get them yet. So it's unclear how this is actually going to work. But what you can expect to have on hand for the payroll protection loan that is forgivable if you use it for valid purposes is your 2019 tax return or a 1099, your profit and loss, which is your income statement from your bookkeeping for 2019, and that should be everything that you need for the payroll protection program application. Now, I already spoke about the economic disaster loan, but just to contrast it, the economic disaster loan is truly a loan. That means it's something that you must pay back. There is also this $10,000 grant that a lot of people have been very excited about. And what you need to know about that $10,000 grant is it can be given to you very quickly if you apply for the disaster assistance loan. And that disaster assistance loan is very quick and easy to fill out. Like the final step of it is putting your banking info in. They may send you that $10,000 right away, but if you're approved for the loan, that goes into the principal that you must repay. All right, so you get the other $65,000. So if you're at a place where you don't want to take on more debt or don't need to, I would avoid the SBA disaster loan. But if you're at a point where you've been affected by the downturn and are wanting to keep people on, including yourself, apply for the payroll protection program tomorrow. So I hope that's helpful. I'll make sure that there are links available, but the biggest thing you need to know is apply through your bank. Apply through your bank. If you can't apply through your bank, apply through Fundera or Lendio. I know some banks have capped stuff off or you may not be eligible. So Fundera or Lendio are other options as a sole proprietor to apply for the payroll protection program. Okay, thanks so much, and I hope you are well.